Namaskara. Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate, Ramam Ramesham Bhaje, Ramena Bhiyata Nishachara Chamu, Ramaya Tasmai Namaha, Rama Nastik Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasotinaham, Rame Chittarayas Sada Bhautame Bhorama Muddhara, Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame, Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane, Shri Rama Nama Varanana Onnam Iti. That's Shri Maheshwara Sutrani, Ai Un, Rulruk, Ayong, Ayauch, Hayavarat, Lan, Nyam, Nam, Jaban, Garadash, Jaba Garadash, Kapa Chata, Chata, Tav, Kapai, Shashasar, Hal, Iti Maheshwara Sutrani. Okay, we're looking at the Shashti Bhakti now, usage of Shashti Bhakti, where we started last time, gave a bit introduction last time. The first thing we was talking to Kalpeji before the class. This is not a Karaka Vibhakti because Karaka means it participates in the action. So this one does not, as a general rule, does not participate in the action. So the example we gave last time is Ravanaha Ramasya Bharyam Harati. The Ramasya is only a sambandha with the Bharya. Does not participate in the action of Haranam. So this is a simple thing. That's why the good news is that here we don't have to go to 1.4 and look at the section called Karake. Just to refresh our memory, these are the two places that we go to assign any vibhakti is assigned ultimately in 2.3. In 2.3 is the final place. We have to find some sutram of some vartikam, whatever, to assign the vibhakti. In the case of every other vibhakti, like Prathama, Dvitiya, Tritiya, they all had a relation to a Karaka. So it had maybe Karma, maybe Karta, maybe Karanam, maybe Adhikaranam, whatever it might be. And that section was in 1.4. From 1.4.23, I think, started Karake. Now, the good news is that we don't have to go there for Shashti because this is not a Karaka Bhakti. It means there is no connection with the action. So the section from 1.4.23 to 1.4.55 does not concern us. So this is not a Karaka Vibhakti. That's number one. So that's good news. So we only have to look in 2.3 only to find answers to our questions. So like everything else in the Karaka Vibhakti land, there are things which are a little bit ambiguous here. Some gray areas, something we have to fill in. Some extensions we have to make because we have to go because this, Vyakaranasya Prayojanam Shishta Prayoganam Samarthanam. We have to justify Shishta Prayogas. So even Apteji complains that, some of these sutras are too restrictive. They won't explain all the usages. So we have to make some extensions. Okay, but again, as far as possible, when we compose, when we use, we have to try to follow sutra as closely as possible. Okay, so with that small introduction, let's look at our main sutram here, which is Shashti Sheshe. Shashti Sheshe. Let's look at that sutram. Again, I hope all of you are using the website, which Kalpesh has put a lot of effort into that, which has nice links and everything now. It's going to be getting better as we go along. So Shashti Sheshe. Let's look at the Vyakhyanam on that. The question is, what is Sheshe? Means in the remaining senses, Shashti is used. Uktadanyaha Sheshaha. Uktadanya means that which has not been covered so far, which has not been said so far. So that is called Sheshaha. So now, what is Shesha here? Is Karaka Pratipadika Artha Vyatiriktaha Swaswami Bhavadi Sambandha Sheshaha. Okay, so what does this mean? This means that other karakas have been shouldn't say other karakas. Shashti is not a karaka, but the other vibhaktis that which have the prathama, dvitiya, which have the karakas behind them, like the karta, karma, all that, they have all already been covered in 2.3. This is the ending section of 2.3. Okay, this section of this Shashti Sheshe from here to 2.350 to the end of 2.3, the Shashti Anuvritti goes down. So this last section of 2 from 2.350 to 73 is for Shashti. Of course, sometimes some other vibhakti might come optionally, but basically the anuvritti of Shashti goes down from here 2350 to 2373. Did we do this last time? I may have put in the sutram in the document last time. Okay. Okay, I did not put this. So the 2350, this is our main section. Let's put these down here. It's 2350 up to 23, I think it's 73. 2373. So that is a section for Shashti. But there are also a couple of other things which we have, I mentioned last time, and those are, 2, 3, 26, 27, 30, 34, and 38 to 41, which have come before, because they have optionally another vibhakti also with them. That's why they're not put in this section, because they were sharing the vibhakti with some other vibhakti also was possible in those cases. So 26, 27, 30, 34, and 38, 41. Let's put those also in. So this is our work area now. This is what we have to work with. So also 2, 3, 2, 3, 26, 2, 3, 27, 2, 3, 30, 2, 3, 34, 2, 3, 34, and 2, 3. So good to know where we are looking, 38 to 2, 3, 41. So this is basically it. This is all we have to work with Shashti. So we have to find some sutram in one of these places to get this. Yes.
Satish ji.
Yes.
In Dvitiya Pada, there is a Sashti, the 8th sutra,
Yes.
and then it goes on to Karmani and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's Vasu. That is for the Samatha. Okay.
Okay.
That is Shashti Tatpurusha Samatha. Vasu is saying is that the sutram called Shashti in 2 to 8, etc., and that goes down below. So this is the section of Tatpurusha Samatha. Okay? So that is where this Shashti, this is what defining a Samatha. In fact, we will look at this today also. There is some interconnection between this Shashti Vibhakti, of course, and the Shashti Tatpurusha. But, as a general rule, all these Shashtis could be compounded. But there is a very important restriction which we're going to see today, which is regularly a Vartikam under this na-nirdharanaya. The Shashti will not be compounded. Anyway, let's leave this for timing. This is for compounds only, to form Shashti Tatpurusha compounds. But for the Vibhakti assignment itself, this is our work area now. We have to look at 50, 73. This is our main one. Then some others which are being shared with other Vibhaktis, 26, 27, 30, 34, 38, 41. Okay. Let's start with the book. Let's see what all we can cover now. Okay. The first thing he says is to indicate the connection between two nouns expressed by the preposition of. Okay. Now, one thing I'd like to mention some good books to learn about Karakas, because the Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi does not go into Karakas in much detail at all. If a Laghu Kaumudi is also there on the website, if you look at that, let me see if I can get the section for you. It only gives like 1 or 2 lines at all that it gives for the Shashti Bhakti. So that is not a good place to go for getting some more details. Particularly what, as I mentioned to you, is that, let me see, I have to get the level text. The Shishta Prayogas might differ slightly from the Purani Sutra. So you need books like, there are 2, 3 books which I like. One is, of course, our Apteji's, Guide to Sanskrit Composition. That's a good book to use. He covers every bhakti in quite detail, paying more attention to the Shishta Prayogas and less to sutras. Second book, of course, is the Kale's book, also is nice. Third thing you can do is also look at the Charudev Shastriji. Charudev Shastri has this 5 volumes, what called Vyakarana Chandrodayaha. In that, the very first volume, he covers all the bhaktis, all the Karakas and bhaktis. That's also another good place to, look for some details of these things. So I want to mention these 2, 3 books to you. So one is Apte's book, which is the Guide to Sanskrit Composition. The second is, of course, Kale's book, I think, which is the higher Sanskrit grammar. And then the Charudev Shastriji, which is the The first volume has been translated into English also. So that's also, even if you don't know Hindi, the first volume is been translated into English. That is called Panini Reinterpreted. Panini Reinterpreted. That's just the first volume of the Vyakarana Chandrodaya. So these are a couple of 2-3 books that you can go to and get some more, like usage-wise, details. Okay, so if you look at the Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi, if you see what I'm talking about, is he has given, I think, only about, look at this, he's given only about 2 lines over here. That's it. This is the entire Shashti in Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi, only 2-3 lines. So, because we'll see why he has done that also. Because the Sheshe, this word Sheshe covers many possibilities. If you just want to remember one word for Shashti, which is Sheshe. Any miscellaneous meanings, miscellaneous connections. Also, we're going to see one more thing which I already put in a document today ahead of time, which is Karmadinam api sambandha matra vivakshayam Shashti eva. Is sometimes when the speaker does not want to express something as a karma, something as a karanam, something as a sampradhanam, he has a choice to use Shashti also. So Shashti may be standing for any other vibhakti. Depends on the of the desire of the speaker. Again, this is not something we should be imitating blatantly everywhere, but we should be ready for this kind of usage. The Shashti may stand for the, in fact, this first section which we're going to see in the book right now is this same thing, where Shashti stands for some other vibhaktis. Okay, so let's start with the book now, see what we can go for. Okay. So in connection between 2 nouns, this is what the Sheshe comes, because when you exclude the karta and the karma and the karana, etc., so what is left behind? So one thing which is left behind is the sambandha. So like, swaswami sambandha, when the sambandha between when somebody owns something, that has not been covered by any other vibhakti so far. So that's one of the main areas which have been left out. So sambandha. So that is what the connection between 2 nouns. So no other vibhakti can express this connection between 2 nouns. It's not the object of the action, not the instrument, etc., etc. So that's the first thing. So that's basically comes Sheshe. You have to be careful in that, not every English of can be expressed by Sheshe, by Shashti. We have to be careful. For example, if you say, in fact, Apteji gives good examples, the English of is a good translation. Like any other vibhakti, you cannot just take the English word of and make Shashti with every one of them. For example, Apteji gives an example. It's a pot of gold. A pot of gold, we cannot say Hemnaha patram. We say Hemana suvarnasya patram iti vaktum na shakyate. Because the pot is not belonging to the gold. Pot is made out of gold. You have to make a compound with that. You can say Hema patram, or you can also say, maybe make a sadhita, make it Haimam patram, So you can make it some kind of thing like, because the idea of belonging is not there. Connecting is not there. It's not like the gold is one thing and the pot is another thing and the gold owns the pot. It's nothing like that. You have to be careful. The bottom line is that every English of cannot be translated blindly towards Shashti Bhakti. It's something you have to be aware of. Most of the time off will work, but not every time. Second thing is that verbs to be, to have, the same thing. To have, again, ownership. It's also the same, the swami bhava. Means you own something. In fact, this is one way, this is a good thing. Like in English, we say, I have a book. You can, in Sanskritam, you cannot say really to have. You say, Mama pustakam vartate. Mama pustakam asti. Mama pustakam vidyate. English to have is a special usage, which is basically a Shashti connection for being expressed by a verb, like to have verb. But here we have to use a Shashti in Sanskrit. Okay. Now comes some special dhatu with some special meaning. Now going back to what Vasu was saying about compounds. The question, let's take some of these meanings. With words meaning to be master of, to have mercy, to remember, to favor, to trust in. No? Putranam prabhavati. He has control over sons. He is master of his sons. Now, the question is that could I maybe use Saptami, maybe Putreshu prabhavati, possibly Putran prabhavati, maybe in Dvitiya, he controls his sons. The question is that why do we need this sutram at all? Because we already said when the speaker has a choice, he can use Shashti over other vibhaktis. So Putranam Prabhavati should have been possible even without this sutra. So these 8 sutras here, between about 2, 3, 51 to 58, these 8 sutras, 2, 3, 51 to 58, they are, you can question them as to why we need them. Because Shashti, the Shesha, would have covered them. Okay. Now, the reason for this goes into compounds, and this is as follows. Coming back to the Sutram 228, which is Shashti, that is the Sutram which talks about Tatpurusha compounds. So why do we need compounds right now? I'll tell you in a second why we need them. Because 2 to 10 is na nirdharane. Na nirdharane. The Shashti which is nirdharane is not compounded. Na means samasvana bhavati. This is not compounded. Nirdharane Shashti is not. So which one was nirdharane? Let's go back to this. It was here when we talked about 2, 3, 26, 27. This one. This is Yasacha Bhave, this one, 41. Yatasya Nirdharanam. So this sutram, Yatasya Nirdharanam, which says 2, 3, 41, that Shashti cannot compound, is what the sutram says. So best example is Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 10. A lot of Shashtis are being used in the sense of Nirdharane. Nirdharane. For example, if you look at chapter 10, Vibhuti Yoga, look in there, most of those Shashtis are Nirdharane. Like it says here, right from the beginning it starts, right? From Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Aditya, from here, Adityanam aham Vishnuho, Jyotisham Raviram Shaman, Adityanam aham Vishnuho. Among the Adityas, I am the one named Vishnu. Among them, it's not like the Adityas, that owning this. Vishnu is one of the Adityas. So Jyotisham Raviram Shaman. Among the luminaries, I am the bright sun which has rays, bright rays. And so on and so forth. Marichir Marutam Asmi. Among the Maruts, I am Marichi. Nakshatranam Aham Shashi. I am the moon, and so on and so forth. So all these are, so you cannot make a compound as Aditya Vishnu. This compound is not Aditya Vishnu, is not possible. Okay, but Sutram only talks about this Nirdharana Shashti not being able to compound it. So that Sutram was 2, 3, 10. But there's a Vartikam on that. 2, 3, 10 has a Vartikam on that. Let's look at that Vartikam on 2, 3, 10. 2, 3, 10 Vartikam says that, let's go to, 2, 2, 10, I'm sorry. 2, 2, 10. No, because 2, 2 is samasas, 2, 3 for vibhakti. So 2, 2, 10. Nirdharane. Let's look at that one. Let's see what it says. This is a Vartikam. Pratipada vidhana shashti na samasyate iti vaktavyam. So this Pratipada vidhana shashti is specific shashti which have been prescribed besides sheshe. They don't compound. So bottom line is that the shashti which is defined by 2, 3, 50 shashti sheshe, that can compound. When you say Rajnyaha Purushaha, you can make it Raja Purushaha. When you say Mama Pustakam, you can make it Mat Pustakam and make those. But other shashti which are specifically defined below there, as a general rule, they cannot be compounded. Patipada Vidhana Shashtina Samasyateti Vaktavyam. So let's put this in the document. It's a very important concept. So this is a concept in compounds, which is going to affect us in the vibhakti assignments. So let's put this. So this is a Vatikam on 2-2-10. Vatikam on 2-2-10. Vatikam. And this, once again, this is stopping a compound formation for those Shashtis which are coming from 2-3-51 onwards. So 2-2-10. This is the Vatikam. Okay, so now coming back to what we were talking about before, that why do we need 2-3-51 to 58? Because those meanings which are given, which could have been also accomplished by using sheshe, but these will not compound. So these which are used in these senses, those Shashtis will not compound. So 2-3-51 from 2-3-50 is about 8 of these sutras here. 2-3-51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, from 58. Actually, if you look at the Kaumari in the beginning itself, in 2-3-50 itself, he gives the some of these usages in 2-3-50 itself. But Shashti, I mean, the Shesha itself is enough to use these, but these will not compound. So these will not compound. So that is the reason why some of these sutras are required. So let's go back to the book now. Is let's see where we are. Okay, so even though we can use this, the sutram is 2-3-52. 2-3-52 is the sutram. So the sutram is this one. Adhig artha dayesham karmani. 2-3-52. What is adhig artha? Adhig artha is the adhi plus dhatu ik smarane. It's not used very much. If you refresh your memory, there is 3 dhatus of the form E in the second gana, adadi gana. One of them, of course, is in gatau, the parasipadi dhatu in gatau. Second one is in adhyayane. That one is, these two are commonly used, in gatau and in adhyayane. The third one is ik smarane. Ik smarane. If you look at, let's look at the dhatu patha, if you can find it here. In the dhatu patha, you'll find these 3 dhatus. Let me see if I can find them for you. These 3 dhatus. So let's see if you can. Okay, see here. Okay, so in the adadi, and they're all in the adadi gana. So one is ik smarane. That's the least used dhatu. And that is the one which is referred to in Sutram 2-3-52, where we are talking about adhig artha. Adhi plus ik, adhig artha. So any dhatu in the meaning of adhig means to remember. So in fact, it's a little bit extra remembrance. I think Apteji also means you remember with kind of like a regret. You remember, so then it is kind of not just remembering, but you can remember with sadly, like Matas Marati means he remembers, he longs for his mother, kind of. He remembers his mother means he longs for his mother. So a slightly different, maybe like a little bit added meaning rather than just remembering. It might be just a little bit more than just remembering. So now that is this adhig. So this is adhig is the adhi upasarga. With it says remembering with a regret is what Apteji says, with regret. So verbs meaning to be master of, to rule, like isha and bhu with pra, and dai to pity, and implying remembering with regret. They, like e with adhi, sdru, etc. The object is put in the genitive case. That's what it is. So completing these 3 dhatus, the 3 dhatus are, one was ik smarane, which is what we need now. The second one was ing adhyayane. These are all adadi dhatus, second dhatus. Now both these dhatus, ik smarane and ing adhyayane, they are adhipurvo, nityam adhipurvo. They will always have adhi before them. So only adhi ik or adhi ing. The third one is in gatau, also adadi. This is not adhipurva. It doesn't have to be adhipurva. So these are the three. Very confusing. Now, as I said to you, the ik smarane is not used much. The one that are used is ing adhyane, and in gatau is the most used in gatau. Comes everywhere. I think first shloka Gita, right? Dharma kshetre, kurukshetre, samaveta, yut savaha, samaveta, sam ava ita, come together. Dhatu in gatau, in the very first shloka of the Gita. So in gatau is most commonly used. This doesn't have to be, that's parasnapadi dhatu. Among these three dhatus, only the ing adhyana is atmanipadi. Only one is atmanipadi, two are parasnapadi, and the ik and ing have to be adipurva. In doesn't have to be. So maybe we'll just put this. So anyway, that's not the main topic right now. We're looking at the Sutram 2352. So adhigartha dayesham karmani. So which means that the karma, the object of these dhatus, which is the adhik plus day and isha, that will be put in the Shashti Bhakti. So let's look at some examples here, which are given. Okay, adhigartadayesham karmani. It says shesheti vartate. Adhigartaha smaranarthaha. So this is what is clarifying. Adhi plus ik, the typo here. Smaranarthaha. Daya dana gati rakshaneshu. And isha aishwarye. Etesham, lot of typos here. Etesham karmani. Karake sheshatvena vivakshite. When the speaker doesn't want to express that karaka as karma, she can use shashti. So matur adhyeti, remembers his mother. Matur smarati. Sarpisho ishte. Madhuna ishte. These are very, these usages are not that very common. So not really worth spending too much time on these. But you can, for example, I've never seen this kind of usage really in, like sarpisha, ite and all that. This is a typo there on this 2352. So these kind of usages are not very common. But when Panini has this sutram, sarpisha ishte, means he rules. He's a ruler of, he rules the ghee. I guess he's master of, so he has, I guess, a lot of ghee. Sarpish means ghee. So and so on. Or he's a knower, maybe he's an expert, maybe he's an expert in ghee. So these are the kind of things. Only sheshe. Otherwise, you can also say mataram smarati. So I think we don't even need to, if you're not talking about samasas, we don't even need to talk too much of these, because these could have been all done with sheshe, shashti sheshe. The speaker has no intention of expressing the karma as a karma. He can use shashti. Shatru or dayate, dhatu dayi. They means to have mercy. So he has mercy on his enemy. The same sutram, because there are three. There is adhig, daya, and isha. Three are given in 2352. This one also is in that. Daya is the second one. Matus Smarami, we just talked about that. Remember my mother with a regret, like my mother has passed away or something. I remember my mother because of her good qualities. I remember her. Matus Smarami. Bhaktasya prasida. Again, look at this. Prasida is not in that list, but to be kind, to be gracious, to favor. So these are the extensions we have to make now. So Bhaktasya prasida means be kind to your devotee, be gracious towards your devotee. So Bhaktasya prasida. So among these three meanings, it's not remembering, it's not ruling, it's being dai. The dai is the one that's being used. The one more thing is that if you strictly look at the sutram itself, this usage probably won't be possible, because it says adhik artha dai esham karmani. So he says that in the meaning of adhik, and only the start dhatu dai and ish. Yeah, that's all he says. He didn't say, dai artha and ish artha. So Panini only says adhik artha daya esha. Then how can we get this usage like bhaktasya prasida? Because this is not, prasida is not either dhatu dai or ish. It's not adhigartha either. This is what I mean. The sheshe can account for these usages. That's the bottom line. The sheshe can account for these usages. Now, next one is clearly an example of sheshe. Tasya na vishwasimi. I don't trust him. Means I don't have trust in him. Saptami should have been used. Saptami. So here it is clearly a use where the speaker does not want to express see, adhikaranam. Adhikaranam is of three kinds, right? One is locus of the action. So, Vishwasa, the trust is on him. I trust in him means that the trusting, the place of the trusting, the locus of the action is that person. So it can be either, so that should have been Saptami here. But it is used Sheshe. So that is what we have. Going to the next page, let's see what he gives. I know it's sounding very, very kind of gray area because we're using Sheshe for everything. But you have to go by Shishta Prayoga. Is that, even you cannot explain this when something should have had another vibhakti. But Shashti is being used by good authors. So then you have to understand these as Sheshe. So, now same thing in the dative also. To give, to tell, to promise, to refresh your memory. When we did the Chaturthi vibhakti, when we did Chaturthi, you were looking up here. Karmi Ditya Sampradana, Chaturthi Sampradana here. Chaturthi Sampradane. When you do for the sake of something, unto somebody, Sampradane. Of course, here this can include a dhatu da itself, but it could also mean the the secondary object of any action. So anyway, we did that when we did Sampradhanam. When we did that. Those details over there. Here also same thing. When the speaker does not want to use Chaturthi, he can use Shashti. Tesham diyatam sharanam. Shelter be given to them. Could have been Tebhya also. But instead Tesham is being used because that's the intention of the speaker. Something Vrittantam me kathaya. Of course, me is ambiguous. Could be Mayyam also. But tell unto me. Tell me what happened. So Mama, this could be Mayyam also, could be Mama also. So Shashti can be used, when it's something done for the sake of somebody else. Shashti Chaturthi, instead of Chaturthi, Shashti can be used. So, okay, so this is what we have so far with Sheshe. Now come with some specific usages. Now these are important, the next part. So let's see what they have to say. Now this sutram says, with nouns derived by means of primary affixes. Primary affix in Krut Pratyaha. From where Krut Pratyasha in Ashtadhyayi is Krudating. From there on starts Krut Pratyaha. It will be about 3.1, 93. Krudating. So in this dhatu vadhikara, this third dhatu vadhikara, we start from 3.191. Any pratyaha which is not a ting pratyaha. This ting is, of course, tiptajji defined by 3.478. So any pratyaya besides those 18 ting pratyaha gets the krit sanya. That is what is meant by the primary affixes. In English books, they call them primary affixes. The secondary affixes are tadhita pratyaha. When you make a kind of a derived noun or derived adjective, you already have a pratipadikam. From that, you make a new pratipadikam. Those are called secondary affixes, and they come from 4.176, called tadhitaha. Right now, we are talking about krit pratyaha. So 4.19. For example, simple sutram like we have here 3.1. Let's take this one. 133. Nul truchau. A word like karta, bhokta. But the trich has been used. So trich, of course, is not a ting pratyaha. It comes in this adhikar of krudating. It's krut pratyaha. Many krut pratyas are there. So, in fact, all the lakara are krut pratyas also. Vartamane, lat, parokshe, lit. All these are coming in this section itself. But when the lakara, when the lasya adhikara, when you use tiptaji, then the tiptaji cannot be krut pratyaya because krud ating. So lat itself is a krut pratyaya. But tip is not. That's the difference. But so anyway, let's go. Let's see what is sutram. The sutram we are going to come to is 2.365. 2.365. Very important sutram, which is kind of not known to many people. Or this is kind of a detail. So, what does sutram say? Kartu karmanoha prati. Remember we are in this section from 2, 3, 50 onwards. So Shashti Ati Anuvartate. Anuvritti of Shashti is coming down here. It says Kartru Karmanoho Kriti. So the Kartru as well as the Karma will get the Shashti Bhakti when used in connection with the Krit Pratyaya. One more time. The Krit Pratyaya has been used. But what we need to call the participles, or the primary affixes. So in connection with that, the Karta or the Karma will get the Shashti Bhakti. So one thing, as I mentioned to you, is that keep this Karaka and Vibhaktis to separate in your mind. Okay? Don't say Karta means Prathama. That is not correct. Because Karta is Karta, whatever definition might be. So Karma, same thing with Karma. Karmani Dvitiya is a default sutram, that is true. So, but there are times when the Karma will not become Dvitiya. For example, in the passive, you say Ramena Vali Hataha. The Vali is still the Karma, but he is in Prathama Bhakti now, because it becomes a passive usage. So Karta is one thing, that is the Karaka label. Then the Prathama is different, that's the Vibhakti. Vibhakti is coming 2.3. So Karta will not always be in Prathama. In fact, when you make it passive, you say Ramena Vali Hataha. Rama is still the Karta of the action of killing Vali, but he has now become Tritiya. Okay? So that's what I mean. So Kartu and Karma, so you might ask me, how does Kartu become Shashti? You should be Prathama, or actually should be Tritiya really, actually, in Panini terms. Kartu Karmanoho, this one, because see here when you go back 2.3.18, Kartu Karanayo Tritiya. So Tritiya has been given as a default for the Kartu and Karana. So default coming was Tritiya was coming for the Kartu. For the Karma was coming Dvitiya. But these are only defaults. These are only defaults. So don't, in your mind, you should keep Karma as a Karaka Sanya as separate. Dvitiya Vibhakti is separate. It is true that as a default, Karma will become Dvitiya, but it doesn't have to. So same thing. So that's the sutram looks to be confusing, because if you're in your mind, if you already equated Karma with Dvitiya, then you can say, well, what's going on over here? So it says Kartu Karmano Kriti becomes Shashti. So Kartu is only a label, which means the agent of the action. Swatantra Karta, as Panini says. Again, these are defined in 1.4. That Karta and also the Karma in connection with the Krit Pratyaya. Krit Pratyaya only. So in that case, for example, you say Ramaha Sitam Pashyati. Now Pashyati, the Pratyaya is a stip. So now Krita thing. So that the tip Pratyaya no longer Krit Pratyaya anymore. So here, Shashti na prapyate. Shashti na prapyate. Because here Shashti is not possible at all. Because when you say Pashyati, Pratyaya is tip, Krit a thing. That tip will not get a Krit Sanya. So there's no question of Sita getting Shashti. So, but when Krit Pratyaya is being used, then we can use Kartu and Karma. This is a very sweeping statement, very sweeping statement. So with any Krit Pratyaya, for example, you say Jagatah Karta, the maker of the world. So Ishvaraha. So Jagatah Karta. Now Jagat is clearly the object of the making. So it's obvious. So he's the maker of the world. So it works in English also very nicely, but still the Jagat is the karma. So Dhatu Kru. Then by default, by 232, should have had Karmani Dvitiya. So there should have been the default, should have been Dvitiya. But Jagataha, Shashti has come in here. So the reason is 2365. 2365. Now the reason 2365 is not known to many people is because of the fact that 2369 is a very big apavada for that. So we'll look at more details right now. But 2365 has a major apavada in 2369, where a number of pratyas are listed there, where Shashti will not be used, which means that we'll go back to Karmani Dvitiya. For example, you say in Lakaradeshaha, like Shatru Shanach. For example, Ramaha Vanasya Shobham Pashyan Agre Gacchati. Shobham Pashyan. Now that the Shatru Pratyaya also Krit Pratyaya is coming in this section it comes in 3.2. So Shatu is the Krit Pratyaya, and the Shobha is the object of that Pashyan. The Shobha would have taken Shashti by 2,365, but 2,369 stops it. So that is why we just say, well, object of the verb, Dvitiya, we're all fine, not realizing that 2,365 had come and 2,369 had stopped it. So this is the important. If you ask me one important thing about this lesson, is this 2,365 and 2,369. And then actually there are some more detail in 2,371 also is coming. But these two are very, very important. So very important. Let's follow in the book now. Let's come back. See. So let's look at 2,365. Look at the Vyakhyanam for that, 2,365. So don't forget 2,365. If you know 65, you look for 69. If you know 65, you look for 69. So when you say Ramaha Shobham Pashyan Gacchati, when you see the word Shobham, looking at the word Pashyan, that Pashyan, the Pratyaya Shatru has been used, there's a participle form, it's Krit Pratyaya. If you know 2,365, you stop and ask the question, why didn't Shobha take Shashti? There must be an Apavada for that, and the Apavada is 2,369. Okay? So 2,365 is the one that you want to definitely keep in mind. So highlight this one, please, 2,365. 2,365. So Krit Prayoge Kartari Karmani cha Shashti Vibhaktir Bhavati. Bhavata Shayika, Bhavata Asika. So Puram Bheta. So it's Indra, he was the one who destroyed the three cities. So Bhetru, like Jagatah Karta, Vajrasya Bharta. Indra is the bearer of the thunderbolt, one who bears the thunderbolt. So this is what it means. So if you have any Krit Pratyaya, then the doer of the action, like Krishnasya Kritihi, Krishnasya Kritihi, which means that the action of Krishna, the work of Krishna. So this Kritihi is Krit Pratyaya. Krishna is the doer of the actions. Krishnasya Kritihi becomes. Okay, not Krishna and Kritihi. Because normally you should have had what? You should have had the Kartrikarnayo Tritiya, 2.3.18. So 2.3, let's put this in the document. So 2.3, 65. So 2.3.65. 2.3.65 is that the object, the agent or the object, of a verb which has a Krit Pratyaya, what's called a primary affix, Krit Pratyaya, takes the Shashti Bhakti. Takes Shashti. Takes Shashti, I'm sorry. Excuse the typo, Shashti. Okay. And the Apavada for this is that main Apavada for this, the main exception is 2.3.69. Okay. Let's see what the book gives. Let's see what examples he gives in the book. Okay, so Senayaha Neta, leader of the army. Again, it sounds very good in English. Looks like we almost don't need the sutram from Senayaha Neta. So he is the leader of the army. Clearly, the army is the object of the leading. You would have normally had Karmani Dvitiya. But because of the sutram that Sena has taken a Shashti Vakti of Sena Yaha Neta, you have to confirm that this Pratyaya which is being used in Netru, this Netru is a Pratipadikam, and that we just already looked at that. That sutram is 3.1, I think around 134, is Nul Trichau. So any verb can take this Pratyaya Nul or Trich. So 133, I'm sorry, 3.1.133. 133. Now remember one more thing to refresh your memory is that any Krit Pratyaya as a default, is Kartari Krit. So that also has major Apavadas before that. Kartari Krit has Apavadas coming below in 2, 3, 4, 70. Remember, to take an object, you have to have something in the active usage, because otherwise only an agent can take an object in a verb. If it's already in the passive, it cannot take an object. Cannot take an object. So this pratyaya, this which is being used, must be used kartariyarthe. This one which is senayaha neta. Neta must be kartariyarthe. One who leads. He's a leader. He is the agent of the action. Sena was his object. So, as a default, by 232 Kramani Dvitiya Vibhakti Prapta, Tasya Apavadaha is the Shashti Vibhakti. Kartakarmanoho Kriti. Kartakarmanoho Kriti. Sena Yahani, leader of the army. Now, so this is now, he has given only one example. The nouns that have primary affixes. Okay. He didn't say with nouns, no, you have to be very careful now. Maybe we should put a comment in the book over here. Only the kartru or the karma. Nothing else. Okay, only kartru or karma. So because in fact the Kashika, I think he gives the example, so, which is, let's see. He says, kartru karmano iti kim shastrena bheta. He is the one who, I guess, destroys with his weapons, splits with his weapons. So shastrena. So even though in the word bheta the pratyaya has been used, which is a krit pratyaya, shastrena will not take shashti. But this is neither the karma, this is not the object of the breaking, destroying. This is not the subject of the destroying also. So subject is here. So this will not take shashti. So shashti only comes when you have the kartru or a karma in connection with the krit pratyaya. Okay, so that's what it is coming down here. So please make a note in the book. In the book, he just with nouns derived by means of primary affixes, but only the object or the subject of that can take the Shashti Vibhakti. 2365. Okay, so the next one that he used, we're going to see some. In fact, let's see. So, has he given the exceptions here? Okay, he has. Okay, then you know what? Let's look at 2369 right now. It's not in the book. 2369 is not in the book, but an extremely important student, because if you just leave it like this now, what will happen is that there are many other usages which will come. You're wondering why Shashti was not used. Why Shashti was not? So the moment you think about 65, always think about 69. I don't think he has covered 69 in the book right now. I think why he has not covered that, because in somewhere else in the book he has given those particular pratyas being taken dvitiya, elsewhere he has given. But that will clash with this sutram right here. 2365 will clash with that. So let's look at 69 right now and see what we can get from the Ashtadhyaya. Okay. Na lokamyaya nishtha khalarthatranam. Na lokamyaya nishtha khalarthatranam. One more time. Na lokamyaya nishtha khalarthatranam. So na means shashti na bhavati. You don't use shashti. In these, la is this loka is this sandhi, very nasty sandhi going on, even loka. It's la u uka. La u uka. So la means any lakara adesha, like Kshatriya Shanach mainly. So the pratyaya u, which we saw in the lesson itself. In this lesson itself, we saw pratyaya u being used. Where we see that? Because when we in the prior page, when we saw this word chikir shuho, vukshisi, all these ones over here, when we saw jigi shuho pipasuho, okay, it's a pipasuho. You can say dugdham pipasuho. He is the one who wants to drink milk. You don't say dugdhasya pipasuho. Don't say dugdhasya pipasuho. So that's what it is, because this u pratyaya, which we saw in the last class, was 32168. It is in the section of the thing. So then by 2365, Shashti should have been used. But we don't want Shashti to be used. So we want Dugdham Pipasuhu, not Dugdhasya Pipasuhu. So the U pratyaya is here. The pratyaya Uka also has been used elsewhere. We can maybe don't. That's these sets of pratyayas. This Shashti is no longer used. Let's look at some examples here. Again, this is not in the book. But this is a very important sutram because on 2-3, if you just leave it 2-3-65, if you're left with that, you will find many usages where shashti is not being used. Even though there is a krut pratyaya, there is a participle form, and there is a karma of that, and then shashti is not being used. You have a question why shashti is not being used for 2-3-65. As a general concept of Ashtadhyayi, I think you know, some sutram is not working. Apavada is there. Look below that sutram. Most of the time you'll find something below that which will help you out. Okay? Same thing here. He says, Odanam pachan, cooking rice. Odanam pachamanaha. So these are the Shatra and Shanach, present participle. So there also use go back to Dvitiya. So basically 69 stops 65, you go to Karmani Dvitiya. Odanam pechanaha. This is in the lit prayoga. You don't have to worry about that. I think it's probably kanash being used here. These are less common. This next one, the pratyaya u. So la u uka loka. It says katam chikir shuhu. He is the one who wants to make the match. So kata is the object of the chikir shuhu. Pratyaya u has been used. U has been used. That u pratyaya is krut pratyaya by 2-3-65. Shashti praptaha anina sutra nishidhyate. The Shashti is stopped by this one. So same thing, Odanam bhukshuho. He is the one who wants to eat rice. And then the pratyaya uka also is here. We use a little bit less common. So uka, so agamakam varanasim shuho. Now uka is not that common, but you can say dasyaha kamukaha. One who is lusty towards his maid, I guess. Dasyaha kamukaha. Pratyaya uka is being used. Now, so this is la u uka. Out of which, so any lakara adesha, mainly the present participles. They will not, their karma will not take shashti. Then the pratyaya u, we saw chikir, shu, etc. This lesson itself. The karma will not take shashti. Pratyaya uka also is defined in some places. I'm sorry, I give you a wrong example. I take it back. This one is, there is a vartikam. Uka pratishedhe kamer vibhashayam apratishedha. So I give you a wrong example. Take it back. This dasyaha kamuka is a counter exemption. This should not have been shashti here, but for this dhatu come to desire, it goes back to shashti. So sorry, I confused a little bit here. So excuse me, this one was a counter, this is also a vartikam. This is a counter exception to that, going back to shashti. So dhatu kam, when the dhatu kam is used, when you go back to shashti. Dasyaha kamukaha, not dasim kamukaha. This sutra should have stopped the shashti because the pratyaya uka has been used. Shashti should have been stopped. Dvitiya should have come, but this vartikam, say when dhatu kam is used, go back to shashti. Anyway, that's a single dhatu kam. So don't have to worry about that vartikam too much. It's one more level of detail. So far we're trying to get to 2-3-65, 69. This vartikam will stop. 69 will go back to 65. So let's not introduce this right now. But I give the wrong example. Dasya is shashti being used because of a vartikam. So let's leave that. Now comes the next important, which is avyaya. Very important. Like kartum, bhuktum, krutva, bhuktva. Odanam bhuktva gacchati. Bhuktva gacchati. Like with 3-4-21. Right? So samana kritakaya purva kale. Now here, see katam krutva, so having done something. Now again, this pratyaktva is a krit pratyaya. It's defined in 3.4. So I think it's 3-4-21. So now that also should have been taken in shashti. Should become katasya krutva. Clearly, we don't want that. We don't want katam. We don't want katasya krutva. We want katam krutva. It's also the avyaya. So any krit pratyaya which creates an avyayam, with that the karma will not take shashti anymore. So you go back to dvitiya. Very important. So that's this entire sutram 2-3-69 is well worth knowing in detail. So na loka avyaya. So la u uka avyaya. Then nishtha, which you're going to see next. Then kadartha trinam. So these. Okay. So this one was the pratyaktva was coming 3-4-21. If you did not have 2369, you have to, Shashti would have to be used, which is clearly not desired for us. So, katam krutva, odanam bhuktva. So same thing. So krutva, bhuktva, spatyaktva. In fact, it comes in Gita. I think very first chapter will probably come, right? Upasangamya Raja Vachanam Abravit. If you look at Gita, I think very first. So I mean, of course, comes in many places in Gita. It comes from will come in 1 dot something very close to 1.1. You see, Acharyam Upasangamya Raja Vachanam Abravit. Now Acharyam Upasangamya. Now this pratyaya was ktva, tva became lyap. Emuktva rishi kirikaha. Yes, of course, of course, evam there is an avyayam. So, but here it is more. Thank you, Venkatesh. So, Rajanam Acharyam Upasangamya. So, Acharyam Upasangam, not Acharyasya Upasangamya, because this is a Krutpratyaha, the Tva became Lyap Adeshaha. And you might ask, by 2365, Shashti Prapta, Tasya Nishedha, Na Lokavyaya. This is an Avyayam. So then the stop 65 goes back to 232 Karmani Dvitiya. So in fact, Gita, very second shloka. Here itself you have Drishtva tu Pandavanikam. Drishtva tu Pandavanikam right here. Drishtva is also Tva Pratyaha. Here also Shashti. You don't say Pandavani Kasya Drishtva. That doesn't happen. So Manasanyumachittaha Yukta Asimatparaha. So chapter 6 also, Manasanyam, comes in many places in Gita, everywhere, lot of places. So in fact, that's a good thing you can remember now. Next time you chant Gita, very second shloka itself is Yadgatvan Nivartante, yes, Yadgatvan Nivartante. Many places in Gita it comes. So very second shloka, we say, Drishtva tu Pandavani, come in your mind, you should flash this sutra. First is 232, Karmani Dvitiya. Which is what I think many of us know that. What we don't know is 2365, which is the Kartakarmanoha Kriti. And now you're stuck. You're stuck with the wrong Vibhakti now. So if you know 2365, the Drishtva tu Pandavani Kam will become Drishtva tu Pandavani Kasya. Now you're stuck. So now we got to look for 2369, which is Nalokavyaya Nishtha Kalartha Trinam. Avyayam is in there, Avyayam. Drishtva is an Avyayam. So please, when you chant Gita next time, second shloka itself, Drishtva tu Pandavani, come think of these 3 steps. First, I think we all know, Karmani Dvitiya 232. Next is the important one which you should keep in mind, 2365 is Karta Karmanoha Kriti. But to stop that, we need 2369, which is the Naloka Avyaya. And we go back to, so this will stop 65, we go back to 232. Again, this is not in the book, but we should remember, it's a very important sutra, which you should remember. Let's finish now this same thing with the, should be like drashtum, like Ishwaram drashtum agatosmi, Ishwaram drashtum, to see the Lord. So you don't say Ishwarasya drashtum. So, Chaktum Micho. So, Idam Chaktum Michami. I want to give this up. Idam Chaktum, not Asya Chaktum. So, these are also, this also is coming in 3.3, same thing. This, but the Tumun is coming over there. So, in all these cases, when Avyaya is being used, Shashti will not come. So, simple thing is that when you use a participle, which has an Avyayam in there. In that case, Tumun was coming in 3.3, 3.3.10. So it also is the Krutpratyaha. Again, the same logic. Any karma would have taken Shashti by 2.365, but 2.369 stops it. We go to, so this is a lesson for today. Is understand the sequence of 2.365, 69. Okay, so and as I said to you, this 2.369 is taking out a very big chunk of these participles which are very commonly used. So that is why this 2.365 is almost invisible to us. because we don't really see it in operation that often. We do see sometimes, not that's nothing, but 69 exception takes out many of the most common usages and puts back, stops the Shashti. Ditya comes back. So, okay, let's continue. Nishtha. Next thing, very, very important, Nishtha. Nishtha means taktavatu nishtha, right? Taktavatu nishtha. So pratyaya ta and tavatu is called nishtha. Very, very important. For example, Ramaha vanam gataha. You don't say vanasya gataha. Vanam gataha. Aham odanam bhuktavan. So, I ate rice. You say odanam bhuktavan. You don't say odanasya bhuktavan. So nishtha, but also when it is used, nishtha means kta or ktavatu, both are nishtha. Not only kta, even though we say kta much more often, when kta and ktavatu are being used, then also you do not use this one, the karma of that does not take shashti. We go back to dvitiya. This next example given here, which is the odanam bhuktavan, he ate rice. Devadattena kritam in the passive, again will not take shashti. Not only in karma, but also in the kartruarthe. Devadattena kritam. This was done by Devadatta. Devadatta is the doer of the action. So therefore, titya will be used, not, basically shashti will be stopped. Shashti will be stopped. Now, ishat karaha, dushkaraha, dushkaram, idam karyam bhavata dushkaram. This action, this will be difficult for you to do. Dushkaram. So that dushkaraha is the kal. What is kalarthaha? It is kalarthaha is coming less common, but like dushkaram, dushprapa iti me matihi. In fact, let's go to Gita again. Chapter number 6. Asanyatatmana yogo dushprapa iti me matihi. Asanyatatmana yogo dushprapa iti me matihi. So, here it is given. Here, asanyat atmana yogo dushprapaha. Difficult to obtain. Asanyat atmana. Titya vibhakti here, not shashti. Even though this pratyaya khal, which is coming in 3.4 kalarthaha. Khal. Let's search for khal. Also krut pratyaya. And same thing here. This was the karta of that. So this one 3.126. Ishad dussushu. Krichartheshu khal. When you can use the word ishat or dus or su with any dhatu in the meaning of kricha means difficulty or ease. Pratyaya khal can be used. Khal is only an akaraha, basically. Like dushkaram, durgamam, durlabham, all of these usages. Now, like sukaram. So now with these, whoever is so here when we have in Gita examples which we have this one, sanyatatmana yogo dushpapaha. So this yoga is difficult to be obtained by somebody who doesn't have his mind controlled, his self-control. So this doer would have got shashti by 2365, but again here by 2369, because asanyatatmana, not atmana, shashti is stopped again. So that is the kalarthaha. Not only khal, in the meaning of khal. Whatever is coming below, there also some in the meaning of khal. They also stopped. So last one is the pratyaya trin. Trin actually this trin is a pratyaharaha. Pratyahara trin. It goes from, in fact, I'll give you my favorite shloka for that also in Gita is there. So another shloka in Gita is there. This pratyaya trin is a pratyaharaha. From shatru, from this tru of shatru up to, I think, this tran. So all these pratyas which are coming in this section over here, up to tran, they will also not, with the karma of that, will not take shashti. So now, the Gita favorite shloka of mine is as follows, Yudyasva jetasi rane sapatnan. Yudyasva jetasi rane sapatnan. So is that you fight, you will conquer the enemies in the battle. Yudyasva jetasi rane sapatnan. Here it is. Yudyasva jetasi rane sapatnan. Dronancha bhishmam shridrathancha karan tatha nyanapi yodha viran maya hata sum jahima vyatishta yudyasva jetasi rane sapatnan jetasi. Now it says sapatnan shatrun jetasi. If you use the pratyaya trich, as we just saw by 2-3, remember this is very interesting shloka of the Gita, by the way, 1134. If you use the pratyaya, this pratyaya of trich, in the sense which we saw in 3.1, I think it was 133, Nul Trichau, right? Jagatah Karta, the maker of the world. What should have had? It should have been Sapatnanam Jeta, the conqueror of his enemies. Sapatnanam Jeta. This is Dvitiya, clearly. It's like Raman. This is like Dvitiya Bahuvachanam. Dvitiya has been used. So then how would you, is this Jeta Asi or Jeta Si? This can be a future tense form Jeta Si. Lut Lakara Jeta Si, like Ganta Si. Means you will conquer enemies in battle. If you take it like that, of course the Pratyaya Sip is here. It's a Ting Pratyaha. So no question of Shashti. Shashti only comes with Krut Pratyaha to the Ting Pratyaya, not Krut Pratyayas. So Sapatna is the object of that. Jeta Asi, you're fine. So make a Jeta Asi. Means you fight. You will conquer enemies in battle. That's one meaning. Second meaning is that, which is actually better meaning actually as a matter of fact, is you fight because you are the conqueror of enemies. Jeta Asi. But the problem that is that then how would you explain Sapatnan? Sapatnan is Dvitiya Bahuvachanam. So we should have, if you say conqueror of all the enemies, by 2.365, should have had Sapatnanam Jeta, like Jagatah Karta. It's clearly the enemies are the object of the conquering. But then one commentator says that this is not the Pratyaya Trich, Pratyaya Trin. They both give the same form. This Jetri form which you get, Trich is used, Trin is used to give the same form. Then what's the difference between them? In fact, also if you remember, we looked at the Sutram when we did in the Saturday class, when we did the Suptrakya, Aptrishtun, right? Aptrishtun, etc. 6.4.11. They're both Trich and Trun are given there together. So they decline the same way. The formation is the same, declension is the same. So you get the same form Jeta, whether the pratyaya is Trich or Trun. Now, what is different between these two? The main difference is that this Trich pratyaya, which we saw, is Samanya. This doesn't say anything. As long as Kartarthe, you can use pratyaya Nul or Trich. When you say Karta, means he is the doer. It doesn't say he does it all the time, does it well, nothing like that. He is the doer. Karta is the doer. But this one, Pratyaya Trun, which is there, has an extra condition with that. That's why Trich is common. It is very straightforward, simple, default Pratyaya, one who does some action. But this Pratyaya Trun, which is being used, has a special meaning, and which is the Tatshila, Tadharma, Tat Sadhukarisho. Means that Tatshila means that's his nature. Tadharma means that's his duty. Tat Sadhukari means he is good at doing that. So now when you say Jeta Asi, Jeta is Trun, which fits very well in the meaning actually, because you are a habitual winner. So fight is what the meaning is. So it's very good meaning as a matter of fact. So it says Jeta Sirane Sapatnan. You can take that Jeta as a Pratyaya Trun and take it as Tachilya, means that's his nature. You can even say he's good at that. That's Sadhukari. So Sadhukari means Sadhukari means he does that well. So you are good at winning. So fight. So now this Trun Pratyaya can be used, can be explained, which the meaning also fits quite nicely. And then what we can do is that we can use our Sutram 2.369. So this last part of 2.369, remember Gita, Trinam is Yudyasva Jeta Rane Sapatnan. So now we can explain Dvitiya Vibhakti over here, Rane Sapatnan. Okay, one more time. We have Jeta Asi as the form in the Gita. It can be Jeta Asi, two separate words, or Jeta Asi as a Lut Lakaraha. If you take Lut Lakaraha, there is no problem. which is what Shankara takes and other people take also. It's an easy meaning. Jeta si equals Jeshyasi, means you will conquer. So, of course, in Sapatna we take Dvitiya, Karmani Dvitiya, no question of Shashti, because the Pratyaya is Sip, there's a Ting Pratyaya, so there's no Krit Pratyaya, so we are fine. So, but if you take a Jeta plus Asi, you are the conqueror. It should be of the enemies then. It should be Sapatnanam. If you use the Tush Pratyaya from 3.1.133. But Sapatna is given as a Dvitiya Vibhakti here. So how do you justify that? For that we need 2.369. You use the Pratyaya Trin and not Trich. Now we can justify this Dvitiya with 2.369. It will stop the Shashti. Dvitiya will come back and this will become Tachilya. Or somebody is good at doing that. So you are a habitual winner or you are good at winning. So fight. That's a good meaning. So Gita is one of my favorite shlokas of Gita. See, people don't think of these details because they, take simple meaning. That's fine. Simple meaning also is fine. So you can say, Jeta, I mean, you will conquer the enemy. That's straightforward meaning. But you can also get this good meaning out of it if you know how to use 2.369. By 2.369, so in 11th, Gita 11.34, Gita 11.34, Jeta Asi, Jeta Asi. So this could be, in fact, this I'm not making up this on my own. Some commentator has given that also. So this already used is Jeta is could be with Pratyaya, the Pratyaya Trin Pratyaya, and then we can use then 2.369 will stop 2.365, and then we can justify then 2.3.2 Karmi Ditya to get Sapatna, to justify Sapatna. So, I thought the meaning was fitting pretty nicely. So that's when it's good. Also, we mentioned before that before all of this, in the very second shloka of Gita, Drishtva tu Pandavanikam Yudhan Duryodhanastada. Right there, please think of 2.365. So Gita, second shloka itself, 1.2. Drishtva tu Pandavanikam Yudhan Duryodhanastada. Think of 2.365, and then you need 2.369, and then you go back to 2.3.2. 2.3.2. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, so just this is not in the book, but it's a very important sutram, this 2.369. One more time quickly. Na lokam jaya kalarthat sanam. So lakar adesha, Shatrishna present participles mainly. U, pratyaya u, which you saw in this lesson, chikir, shuho, pipasu, jidnyasu, bubukshu, and all that. So it says, artham jidnyasu. Right? This can be used. Now, so because otherwise you would have had the Shashti coming by 2.365, Artham Jidnyasu, one who wants to know the meaning. Yutiya comes here because stop 65. Then Uka also is there. Less common, but is there. Then Avyaya, very important. Drishtva, Bhuktva, Krutva, all of these. They will not take Shashtis with them. You will not say Odanasya Bhuktva. You say Odanam Bhuktva. So like, Karyam Kartum Micham. You don't say Karyasya Kartum. So you can say Acharam Drashtum Gacchami. You don't say Acharyasya Drashtum. You say Acharyam Drashtum Gacchami. Because there are avyayas. You know the Krut Pratyayas, 2.365 would have come, demanded a Shashti with the karma, but now 69 says no. This is an avyaya. Nishtha, very important. You see how important all these are. So Nishtha is very important. Ramaha Vanam Gataha. So, Annam Bhuktavan, etc. So then Kalartha, like remember chapter 6 of Gita, Asanyatatmana yogo dushprapitame matihi. So you see how many shlokas of Gita this sutram comes in there? Many. Because the Pratyaktva is very common, Tumun is very common, Nishtha is very common, Kalartha also we have seen, of course Shatrushan is very common. So all of these places, 2.369. So that's the lesson for today. Is 2.365, 2.369 is very important. Okay, so let's continue with the book now. This is not in the book. So please add. Yes.
Satishji, you were talking about 232 and 2365.
Yes.
Is that technically a nisheda or this one is a, what is
Nishedha.
huh?
Nishedha.
It is technically a nisheda.
Yeah, see, one question is that, between Nisheda and Apavada, right? We are talking about that.
Yeah, Nisheda and Apavada, you explained it recently.
Yes, well, let me explain the class. What is different? Let me explain the class also one more time. Nisheda and Apavada, what's the difference between Nishedha and Apavada? I guess I've been talking. Let me get somebody involved. Let me say, is Anuji there? Anuji, you there? Oh, maybe not. I think your mic is not working. Okay, let's try Indu. Indu, you're there?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay. Between
Apavada would be a subset, right?
Subset, but still what? Something else is there. Nisheda and Apavada, what's the difference? What's the fundamental difference between Nisheda and Apavada? Because for the question that Vasu is asking right now, I think he's asking another question also. This 2369, can we say is an Apavada for 2365 or Nisheda? It's a Nisheda. It only says no. It says don't do something else. That's all it says. It doesn't say, when you say ad guna vriddhi rechi. Now vriddhi rechi is an apavada for ad guna. It prescribes another operation in the subdomain. It doesn't say don't do guna. It says actually do vriddhi. So when some sutram is in a subdomain of another sutram and it prescribes a different operation from that larger domain sutram, that's an apavada. This one is only saying do not use shashti. It doesn't say what to use. It only says don't use shashti. So what to use is up to you now afterwards. So once shashti is stopped, then we have to find which sutram will apply. Then when you say Prathamaya Purva Savarnaha Nadichi. So Nadichi, which is 61102, only says do not do Prathamaya Purva Savarnaha when you have a Avarnantam followed by the Ijadi Pratyaya. So this is 61102. So basically when Nisheda, generally you have the word na with that. Na. So this one, Prathamaya Purva Savarnaha, Mispanoti Nadichi. So Nadichi only says do not do Prathamaya Purva Savarnaha. Nisheda only stops another operation. It does not tell you what to do. Apavada, on the other hand, acts in a subdomain of another sutram, and it prescribes an operation which is different, of course, from that bigger sutram. So this is 2369 is a Nishedha only for 2365. And once 65 is stopped, then after that, of course, we have to go back to whatever Yatha Praptam, means whatever is coming after that was 232 was the prior one. But 65 had stopped 232. Now 69, actually I should let me take it back. 65 is Apavada for 232 in there. And because 65 is saying use Shashti. Didn't say no. This is in that domain of Krit Pratyayas, this is an Apavada with karma. So with 232 was saying that with any karma, Dvitiya should be used. It's a Utsargaha. Now 2365 was an Apavada for 232, which says with the karma, if the Krit Pratyaya has been used in connection with the Krit Pratyaya, use Shashti. It's prescribing a different operation from the Utsargaha. Now on the other hand, 69 is only a Nisheda Sutram, saying do not use Shashti. So this Nishedaha of 69 stopped the Apavada of 65, and now we go back to 232, which was the Utsargaha, which is the default Sutram, which says use Dvitiya. Okay, go ahead. You have any other question?
And the next question I have is, the Virtikara uses Pratishede. What is Pratisheda then?
It's Nisheda only, same thing.
Pratisheda is also Nisheda.
Yeah, to stop something else, yes, Pratisheda. Okay, so let's, another word for that. Okay. Yes, sir.
This 232 is only an Apavada for, 232 is the Utsarga only for Karmani, right?
Only for Karmani, yeah.
You will still go into 2318.
Yeah,
or
so
possibly anywhere else.
Yeah, so I'm saying this is Apavada for 232, also 265, also Apavada for 2318 in the Kartru, right?
Right.
So yes, not Apavada not only for 232, but the karma part of it is Apavada for 232. Correct. Yeah. So this is not only Apavada. So when by saying karma, that karma it says use Shashti because Dvitiya was coming by 232. So this one is saying because this is only specifically Krut Pratyas only. So karma and with Krut Pratyas, then use what the point Kalpesh is making is that even if you look at 2318, it says Kartu Karanayo Tritiya. This is Utsarga. The Tritiya should be used with the Karta. Kartu should take Tritiya. But this one is saying with the Krut Pratyaya is used, then you should use the Shashti. So this is also, Apavada for that, this one, Tritiya being used in Karta. So it's Apavada for two things, the Tritiya in the case of Karma, Tritiya in the case of Kartru. Both are being given a special operation in the subdomain of the Krut Pratyaya being used. So yes. Okay, so let's go
I
ahead
wanted to
now.
confirm one thing that this one is a mandatory sutra. It's not like Vivaksha Karakani one, right? This one is
Nitya
this one
Karya.
seems to be
This has to be done. Nitya Karya.
has to be. Okay, thank you, sir.
Nitya Karya. So okay. Now, in fact, that's an interesting point. Is it Nitya Karyam? Can we not say? Can we use sometimes Shashti also Sheshe? Can Shashti Sheshe still be possible for this? When you say, I think Sheshe must still be possible, Kalpesh, because Sheshe is such a broad thing.
There in the Kashika it says Shesha iti Nivrittam.
Nivrittam, is it? Okay. Let's see. So we are looking at
Kashika.
65. Let's see. Because Shesha is too broad a thing to stop. Sheshte niyamyate. No, sorry. Praya sutram. Vivaktir.
Punaha karma grahana.
Okay, where is it coming? It's about Shedit Nivrittam. Punaha karma grahana. Evam bhuyat. Okay, Sheshe is stopped. Okay, Sheshte iti Nivrittam. Okay. But I'm saying that if you see a usage in the Sheshe, in fact, now that you did that, Kalpe, let me ask you then. Chikirshur Loka Sangraham. That is fine. I think somewhere in Gita it is comes in Gita. Let me think. Chikirshur Loka Sangraham is fine. Chikirshur Loka Sangraham, Dvitiya is being used, we are fine. Somewhere in Gita, I remember is Pratyaya U. Let me see if it comes to me right now. Where the Pratyaya U has been used. Where is that now? I think the Pratyaya U has been used with a Sananta Prayogaha, where Shashti has been used. Where is that? Jidnyasrupi Yogasya Shabda Brahmati Vartate. Okay, I got it. In chapter 6 for you, Kalpesh. Jidnyasrupi Yogasya Shabda Brahmati Vartate. Yogasya Jidnyasu. Jidnyasur Yogasya. Now, how do you explain that now? Here it is. Jidnyasrupi Yogasya Shabda. I'm not going to bring it up today. It caused no problem. Here it is. Jidnyasur api Yogasya Jidnyasuhu. Now, how do you explain that? Because it should be Yogam. Because 2369 is saying, that you have to use, you cannot use Shashti with that. Jidnyasurapi yogasya shabda brahmati vartate.
Maybe 2365 is mandatory, but 2369 may not be mandatory.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that 2365 is mandatory. The Shesha Nivrittam is correct. Shesha is stopped. You're correct. So Kalpesh's point is good. 2365 is not only Shesha, it is mandatory operation. Okay, so that's mandatory. But at 69 Nishedha, which should also be mandatory really, because the Sheshe can still come into 69. So that's a good point. The Sheshe can still come into 69 and, stop that. Give me 1 second, okay? Hold on for 1 second, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, so what this one is that the point that Kalpesh is making, 2365 Nitya Karyam, is that, that Kritikarma Kriti. Now 69 was stopping 65, isn't it? 69 was stopping 65. So Sashti cannot be done with these pratyas. But now that Sheshe principle can still come, saying that, if the vivaksha of the speaker is not to express the karma as a karma, then still Shashti. Then Gita usage we have over here. So 69 Nishedhaha can be, depending on the speaker, Jijnyasarupi Yogasya, Jijnyas, Pratya, who has been used over here. This should have been Yogam. Because in Gita itself you have the usage, right? Chikirshu Loka Sangraham. So Loka Sangraham Chikirshu. But here you have Yogasya Jijnyasuhu. So this is a 69 Nisheda. So now you have to get to the next step now. So first you had 232, Karmani Dvitiya. Then came 2365, which says that with the Krut Pratyaha, Shashti has to be used. Then came 69, which says that no, Shashti cannot be used with the Pratyaya U. And then finally you say, well, the Sheshe is being used, so 2350, Yogasya Jidnyasuhu. These karakas can be a lot of fun, because the reason it can be fun is that it's not black and white. And there are only a few sutras, not like hundreds, So you have to be able to match something in that. It's like a challenge, It's like a challenge game. You only have few sutras to work with and justify all these usages. So Yogasya, you have to take a 4-step process, because that's the object of the knowing. So one who wants to know about yoga. So Jidnyasurupi Yogasya. So 232 was Karmani Dvitiya. This is the most complex example. We'll finish this topic with this one. So 232 Karmani Dvitiya, then 2365 Kritikarmano Kriti. So Shashti Prapta. Tat Paschat Naloka iti Sutrena Shashti Nishedha. So Shashti Nishedha Prapta. Parantu Sheshe Shashti Bhavatyeva. So then when Sheshe comes, I think the Shashti can be used. What do you think, Kalpesh? So I think that's what we need to go with there. So I think your mic.
Satishji.
Yes.
Satishji.
Yes.
If you simply say Yoga Jigyasa, would that be construed as a samasa?
Yes. Athata Karma Jidnyasa, right? So Dharma Jidnyasa. Yes.
Yeah.
So the
Then would the Karta Karma Kriti apply there or not?
Well, this compound is a compound. We talked when we do compounds. That's the problem. Right. Look, the samasa is possible there, but there different topics will come, so we'll leave that for time being. But I think in terms of this yoga sijidnyasaho, I think this is probably going to be shesha. So the shesh, that's certainly the beginning of the class. The shashti has a very broad license, that the sheshe can always be invoked to justify shashti. Okay, there's always like a blank check. Blank check. So only very few places shashti is really stopped. Okay, let's continue with the book now. So anyway, this whole thing was not in the book. The book he only gave 2365, which is here. Now the next point he's talking in the book is 2367. Is that use of the instrumental with the past passive participle. Pratyakta he means, pratyakta. Used in the meaning of the present. Okay, first of all, let's back up for a second and see where does this kta pratyaya come in the present tense. First of all, let's look at the default sutram which prescribes the pratyaya nishtha. Nishtha is a sutram which is a sanya, of course. Taktavatu nishtha is a sanya. Taktavatu nishtha. The sutram which prescribes nishtha is going to be 3212 sutram is nishtha. But be careful, the sutram nishtha comes Ashtadhya in 2 places. This is only one of them. Other one comes in 2.2 in some Bahuvri compounds, but doesn't matter. That's not what we're doing right now. But nishtha, the exact same sutram nishtha comes in 2 places in Ashtadhya. So this nishtha says that this pratyakta and remember, kta and ktavatu are both nishtha, not only kta. So kta is much more common. Taktavatu nishtha. It can be used in bhute, in the past tense. So we have generally to be used nishtha only in the past tense. But now we are talking about right now in the book of using nishtha in the present tense. Pratyakta. So when can it be used in the present tense? For that, if you go to the end of 3.2, the sutram, which there are two rules over there, I think 3.2 like 188, is that nitaktaha, and then mati buddhi pujartebhyascha. Mati buddhi pujartebhyascha. When somebody is considered highly by somebody else, or worshipable, worshipful in the eyes of somebody else. So it says Ramasya Pujitaha, means that he is regarded very highly by Ramaha. Should have been Ramena Pujitaha, isn't it? Because Rama is the Karta. He is not Abhita right now. Like Ramena Vali Hataha, straightforward, right? So Ramena Vali Hataha. So really, in this sense also, since Rama is Ramasya Pujitaha, so he is regarded very highly, like worshipful, in the eyes of Rama, he is worshipful, Ramasya Pujitaha. So here should have been Ramena Pujitaha, by 2.3.18 should have come Ramena Pujitaha. But the special sutram says, Tasya cha vartamane, Tasya cha vartamane. So that is saying that if you have the kta pratyaya being used, vartamane, then shashti has to be used. In fact, this is one of the best ways that you can know that the kta pratyaya has been used vartamane. Because with that, shashti has to be used. So if you see the kta pratyaya used as an adjective with the shashti, with the karta going with that, then you can see that this is the vartamane kta. Vartama. So you can use both these together. See, all these sutras are like, as we say, weapons, right? They're weapons that help us to get the right meaning. That's the bottom line, isn't it? You want to understand what the speaker is trying to say. Make sense of what he's trying to say. Shishta prayogas. So what shishtas are saying, we try to understand what they are saying. That's Vyakaranam is meant for that. So this, when you see a shashti being used, pratyakta, is tasya cha vartamane. So he's regarded highly by Ramaha. English you can say by only in English. Again, as I said in the beginning of the class, don't take by Sthitiya all the time. Don't take English off as shashti all the time, because they are not, though they work a lot of time, they don't work all the time. You have to be careful. So like somebody, once sent me, saying, I'm sorry for coming late. We say English for coming late. Doesn't mean you can say vilambanaya kshamyatam. It's wrong usage, because vilambanaya, even the English for, that means really means for the sake of. Chaturthi has to be used. If you take English blindly and say, I'm sorry for coming late, you should not say vilambanaya kshamyatam. It will be excuse me for the sake of coming late. That's not correct. So bottom line is that just English for, English of, English by, or English even on or in. Don't blindly take, off is shashti, on is saptami, by is tritiya, for is chaturthi. That you have to get off that mentality if possible. So the tasya cha vartamane means that if shashti being used, even English will say by, he is regarded highly by Ramaha. But in Sanskritam you will have a shashti. The shashti will in fact tell you this is the vartamane ktaha. So that's what the book is saying, is that Ramasya or Ramena Pujyataha. Why is he giving Ramena? Okay, let's see. Maybe 2367 has any shesha in there. So this book is saying you can use Saptami Titiya also. Okay, let's go to the Vyakhyana. Let's see if this is 67. No. Tasya cha vartamane. What's hold on, something, what's Kalpesh, you there? The sutram is not there, or Tasya cha vartamane? Okay, it's fine. I think
It is good.
it is there. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, because he said no loka, so no loka way. I'm wondering what's going on.
Okay.
Again, the loka way is coming. Yes, sorry. No, it is fine. So tasya cha vartamana kala vihitasya prayoge shashti bhavati rajnyam matah rajnyam buddha rajnyam pujitaha. Okay. Uh, he says okay. Tatha cha kartu vivakshayam tityapi bhavati. Okay. So again, this is one of those things which depends on the speaker. So even though Shashti is, I would think Shashti is much more common, but if the speaker really wants to emphasize the Kartru, he can still use Titiya also can be used. So Kartru Vivakshayam Titiya api bhavati Chatrena hasitam iti. So Kokulasya. In fact, you know what? I take that back because here, okay, let's back up for a second. So first of all, there is the Vartikam here. Let's look at the Vartikam. Napumsake bhave upasankhyanam. Okay, let's look at this for a second. It's saying that what is sutram is this? This one is a sutram which says napumsake bhavektaha. Napumsake bhavektaha. That is when you have to form neuter nouns. Neuter nouns. One of the ways to form them is to use the pratyaya taha. Napumsake bhavektaha. Like hasanam means laughing. Or the laugh. So you can say, like jalpanam is talking correctly. Lekhanam, writing, or the writing. Now that pratyaya also is kta. So when you say balakasya, or you can say hasitam. I'm sorry, pratyaya is kta. So hasitam, jalpitam, likhitam. These can also be neuter nouns. Okay, so you have to also watch out for this. That just look at the pratyakta, always take adjective and qualifying somebody else. These can also be neuter nouns. So balakasya hasitam. That hasitam is a noun now. It is not qualifying some other noun as an adjective. So balakasya hasitam. Clearly the doer of that action is the balakaha. So she is the doer of the laughing. So now why not tritiya in that case? Because katsukarnyo tritiya. Tritiya should have been used because if the boy is laughing, it is his laugh. Then why not tritiya? Why tritiya cannot be used? So then it says that now let's go through our steps again. Now by 2.3.18, if you look at now, first of all, just to be clear, in the book he has not, I think, given this rule. Okay. So right next to this point number 2, okay, add this Vartikam. Next to point number 2, add this Vartikam. Vartikam is this Vartikam, which is the one over here. We said Napumsake bhave upasankhyanam. Napumsake bhave upasankhyanam. Please add that in the book next to point number 2. Why are we adding it here? Because the same pratyaya kta is being used. You know, this pratyaya kta can be used in various meanings, right? One we saw the Sutram 3.2.102, bhute nishtha pratyaya used in the bhutarthe. Then we saw kta being used in the vartamanya kta was being used. Last Sutram in 3.2, like pujit ramasya pujita, etc. Now we are seeing napumsake bhave ktaha 3.3.1.14. Is used to create neuter nouns. So we are using the same. So that's why the same pratyaya kta is being used in couple of different meanings. One was 3.2.102. 3.2.102 nishtha. In the body, this is an adjective. They will create adjectives in the past tense. They also become passive. So these are passive because of the sutram. Because normally you have 3.4.67 kartari krit, but below that there is this kta pratyaya. It becomes passive. Remember that tayoreva krityakta kalartaha. I don't mean to jump around, but as I said earlier in the class, every krit pratyaya as a default is in the active sense, but the pratyakta is used in the passive sense. There also is an apavada below that, but let's not go there right now. Kta is in the passive sense as a default. So when can kta pratyaya be used? We use 3.2.102, which is the classic past passive participle. Nishtha. They are adjectives. Now, we also looked at 3.2.187, 188. where this same pratyakta, still passive, can be used vartamane. Vartamanekta. Okay. Also adjective. Still adjective. Still Ramasya pujitaha. Means Rama is the doer. So he is well regarded. He is worshipful, worshipped by Rama. He is highly regarded by Rama. So he is being worshipped or regarded. He is not the one who is regarding or worshipping. Still passive. But this is Vartamani now. Still adjective also. Still an adjective. Now when we look at Napumsake bhavektaha, that is creating a neuter noun now. Creating a neuter noun, Napumsake bhavektaha. That's using bhavarthe. So like hasanam, hasitam means same as hasanam. So because the next lyutcha, next sutram, lyutcha, which is hasanam, when it says laughing or the laugh, the same thing, pratyakta can also be used. So neuter nouns can be formed in, abstract nouns can be formed in two ways. One is pratyaya lyutcha, which we all know. We know hasanam, lekhanam, bhashanam, we all know. But you can also use bhashitam, you can also use likitam, you can also use hasanam, hasitam. So they also can be used. And when this napumsake bhavektaha is used, the karta of that also goes in shashti. Also goes in shashti. This is not in the book. Please add that. Napumsake bhave upasankhyanam. Is that in the chatrasya hasitam. In fact, this is another tip off for you that this is napumsake bhavektaha. When you see shashti being used with the pratyakta, which is not an adjective, it's a neuter noun, then you know this is napumsake bhavektaha. Because the pratyakta, as I said to you, by 32102 is the classic past passive participle like Ramena Vali Hataha. That will be an adjective. That will require tritiya with the karta for that. Ramena. This one napumsake bhavektaha, because of this vartikam, napumsake bhave upasankhyanam will require a shashti with the karta. So the moment you see shashti with the karta, immediately stop and think. This is not my classic 32102. Something is going on over here. And mostly you will have to, if you then think, do you have an adjective? Do you have a noun? If you have a neuter noun, napumsake bhavektaha. If you have an adjective, it's probably going to be the vartamanektaha, like Ramasya pujitaha, Rajnyam mataha, Rajnyam buddha, etc. One of these. Now what Kalpesh was saying is that Shesha Vijnana Siddham. You probably don't need this Vartikam. Because Shesha, can you use it anyway? So why do you need this? So you can say, because here, Karta Vivakshayam Titiyam api bhavati. Titya api bhavati. So you can even say Chatrena Hasitam. Titya can be used also. That is only for this Napumsake Bhavya Upasankhyanam. Not for this one. Tasyacha Vartamane. That, to the best of my knowledge, you have to use Shashti only. So Tasyacha Vartamane, which is in the book, which we are using this sutram at the end of 3.2, the 3.2, 187, 188. For these fellows over here, Shashti, I think, is Nityam. You cannot Tritya with, you cannot say Ramena Mataha. Ishtashamati me matiha. In fact, anyway, okay, fine. So this is the one that, in fact, this is Jnani to Atmegune Matam. So, okay. In fact, some Gita items also you can find, but we don't have time right now. So in good exercise for you. Any Shashti in the Gita now. You can try to find some sutram to justify those Shashtis. And there are many, many, many of them. Of course, a lot of them will come under the 2350 itself, Shashti Sheshe. But others will be interesting. You can find some good examples. So finishing this point in the book is that the Tasyacha Vartamane, when you use 32, 87, 88, mainly 88, there I think Shashti is Nityam. You cannot say Ramena Pujitaha if it's Vartamane. So should be Ramasya Pujitaha. But the Vartikam which is coming on that, which is giving you Shashti in the case of this Napumsake Bhavektaha, there this Vyakhyana is saying that you can, that is Sheshe only really coming in. You don't need this Vartikam really. So you can, Tritiya also can be used depending on the speaker's intention. Okay? So going back to the book, so this one is 2367, but you add the Vartikam on that, Napumsake Bhavya Upasankhyanam, and that Vartikam, you can use Tritiya there also based on the Vyakhyanam. That Vartikam really is Sheshe. Okay, the next one is, I think we saw already with the superlatives, is Naranam Sheshthaha, the best among men. We already saw this Gita. He says, Naranam Kshatriya Shuratamaha. Is, among the men, Kshatriya is the bravest. So this is that. Saptami also can be used. Look at 2341. And you cannot, a small point over here, a small point over here, I'll just mention in passing, because this came up in some of this. Naranam Naradipaha, yes. Naranam Naradipaha. Now there's a small point over here. See, when you talk about this Nirdharane, there are generally three items involved. One is the group, Naranam. Second is the Nirdharyamanaha, the item being singled out, the Kshatriya in this case. So Naranam Kshatriya Shuratamaha. Uttamaha you can say, maybe you can say. So now if you say, now what about the compounding? The compounding is only stopped between Nara and Kshatriya, not between Nara and Uttamaha. So Narottamaha, Purushottamaha, these compounds are still possible. Because if you go, again, we are not talking about compounds today, but we mentioned the Sutram. This is an interesting thing because, if you look at the Sutram which you brought up, Vasu brought up in the class today, no Nirdharane. So Nirdharane Shashti na Samasyate. This Shashti can be compounded. So when you say Muninamapyaham Vyasaha, among Munis I am Vyasaha. So you cannot make Muni Vyasaha. The Shashti cannot be compounded. Okay? So can I say Muni Shrestha, but can I say that? Yes, you can say that. So when you say Naranam, Muninam, Vyasaha Shrestha, Muni Vyasa cannot be found as a compound. Muni Shrestha can be found. So this, when these three things are all together, Muninam Vyasaha Shrestha, then Muni Vyasa cannot be found as a compound. Muni Shrestha can be found as a compound. So anyway, when you get to we'll talk when we get to compounds. Right now we're not talking about compounds. So let's look at 2341. So 2341 Yatash Nirdharanam. Yatash Nirdharanam, that the class from which an item is being singled out, that class will take Shashti. Muninam Shreshtaha. So, but it can also mean Saptami also can be used. Saptami also can be used because this in fact that is why this is in 2341. This is not after 2350. But this meaning is being shared with another vibhakti. It's being shared. That's why this didn't, because from 2350 onwards, Shashti only another vibhakti is going down. But there also something will be shared if some of the vibhakti is mentioned. But here we were talking about in the Saptami Dikarane. So Saptami was coming down here, but here Shashti Cha is coming down now. Shashti Cha. So this one, this Yatash Nirdharanam, Yatashcha Nirdharanam, Shashti can be used. Saptami also can be used. So let's go to the Vyakhyanam quickly. This is 2341, and you can add that to the book also. It says Shashti can be used. Saptami also can. So this point number 3, you can put Saptami also over here. Saptami also over here. So let us look at 2341. 2341. Quickly. Yatash Nirdharanam. Yatashcha Nirdharanam. Yatash Nirdharanam. Okay. So Shashti Saptamyo Vartete. So Shashti Saptamyo Vartete. So both of these are possible. So Jati Guna Kriyati Samudayad Ekadeshasya Pruthakkaranam Nirdharanam. You become a Samudaya from a group when you single out somebody. Pruthakkaranam based on the Jati Guna or Kriya. Then that is called Nirdharanam. In that case, the group from which somebody is being singled out will take Shashti. Manushyanam kshatriyaha shuratamaha. Atsa manusheshu kshatriyaha shuratamaha. So Gavam Krishna Sampanna Kshiratama. Among the cows, the black cow gives the most milk, and so on, So these are the things where Shashti Saptami both can be used. So you can add these to the lesson now. So next thing is talking about, we're almost out of time, but we are looking at this meaning dear, dependent on, well versed in, equal to. Let's see how we can fit the sutras now for this. Okay, we start with this today. Maybe we'll complete next time. Maybe Saha Rajniha Priyaha Asit. Rajniha Priyaha Asit. So he was dear to the king. Now, how is the word Priyaha formed? How is the word Priyaha formed? The word Priyaha is formed using the sutram Igupada Na Nya Pri Kiraha. So this is a right below we saw today. We saw the sutram Nul Trichau. So like we say, for example, we saw Krishna's Chakritihi, right? Krishna's Chakritihi, the action of Krishna. So Krit Pratyaya is being used here also. Krit Pratyaya is being used. Igupadha Nya Pri Kirakaha. Nya Pri Kirak. So interestingly enough, in English we say he is dear. Sanskritam, it means that one who pleases somebody else, he is dear to you. Reverse, So Rajnya Priyaha means that he pleases the king, really. So he pleases the king. So he is the one who's pleasing, because the dhatu Priyaha, the word Priyaha is from Kartari Arthe. One who pleases is Priyaha. So one who pleases Priyaha. Let's do 31135 is what is being used to form the word Priyaha. So this is formed by taking dhatu pri nati. So dhatu pratyaya iska. So lashak patadjite, of course, anubandha lope, akara avashishyate. Now, so it cannot do any gunaha. The pratyaya has the ka, of course, has a sanya of ardha dhatukam. So normally you would say sarva dhatuka, ardha dhatuka yoho gunaha, but guna is not praptaha because the ka is an it. So kiniticha gunaneshedha. Then you would have had eko and she would have been coming here. But recall 6477, achishnu dhatu bhavam, yor yangu vangau. A dhatu is ikaraha, followed by an ach, will become a iyang adesha. It will not take yan sandhi, it will not take akasavani dirgha or anything else. When ach follows, a dhatu is ikara, let me say, I varna or u varna, could be long or short. I varna or u varna will take yang and wang adesha respectively. So by 6477, that pri becomes priya, becomes the I becomes iya. 6477, achishnu dhatu bhruvam, yor yang vango. Very, very important sutram. Very, very important sutram. 6477. Achishnu dhatu bhruvam, yor yang vango. One time I was talking to, this Swami Tattvavidanandaji from Ashavidya Gurukulam. I asked him, did you study Kaumudi, Siddhanta Kaumudi? He said, yes, I remember. Studied up to this sutram, Achishnu dhatu bhruvam. He said, I don't remember all of it now, but that sutram I remember. This is a very important sutram. 6477, Achishnu dhatu bhruvam, yor yang vangau. Dhatu zikara, dhatu ivarna, uvarna will not take yan or akasri dirgha, take yang adesha. So we get the form priyaha. Anyway, this is just how to form the word priya is what I'm saying. Now, so priya plus of course priyaha. So the guna adesha was stopped by 115 kuniticha, and then we used 6477. Now the question is that, so one who pleases the king. So he is the pleaser of the king. So same thing here. Normally the king would be the object of the pleasing. Let's go down our list again. This 232, Karmani Dvitiya, should be Rajanam Priyaha. But then comes 2365, which says Kartu Karmanoho Kriti. Krit Pratyaya is being used clearly because this Ka Pratyaya is coming from 3-1, what is the number here? 3-1, 135. 3-1, 135 is being used. So we are in the domain of krita thing. The things is krit pratyaya is being used, and that's the karma of the pleasing. The one who he is pleasing is the king. So therefore, with that we can get rajnyaha priyaha from, so rajnyaha priyaha, like jagatah karta, the maker of the world, jagatah karta. Same thing, you don't so say vishwasya karta. You don't say vishwam karta, say vishwasya karta. Same example, because that was just the prior sutra over here, right? So when we looked at this one here, we had Nul Truchav right here. Below that is coming this one. So this one is same kartariyarthe, krit pratyaya. So same kind of logic. As vibhakti is concerned, same kind of logic. As vishwasya karta logic, same thing, rajnyaha priya, same logic. Is that the maker of the world is object of the making, rajnyaha priyaha, object of pleasing is the king. So we did normally taken dvitiya by karmani dvitiya 232, and 2365 is kat karmanoho kriti. Karmanoho kriti. The 2365 will come and make rajnyaha a shashti. So rajnyaha will come by 2365. Rajnyaha 2365. Rajnyaha.
Satish,
Yes, sir.
I wanted to mention that Priya will get soup also, right? And then we have local factories in all that.
Where, which one? You're talking about the book, what is given? Where look?
Yeah, I think that the Priya will get soup after this.
The sandhi in the shloka, what I mean in the what the book has given is priyaha asit. So here priyaha asit, you get, of course, priyas asit, and then sasajushoruho go bhagava purvasya yoshi, then lopashakarya. Sandhi is taking place there. So that when you do padacheda, saha rajnyaha priyaha asit. So she was the one who pleased the king, means that he was dear to the king. It's in reverse order. So let's start with the next one. For the next one, you can all think for homework, okay?
I think what I meant that the notes that you have may not be complete if you don't have soup to it.
Which note over here? This one? The
The document.
okay, which one the note? Oh, your priyaha over here?
Yeah. You have to add soup to it, right?
Yeah, you have to add soup to it. Yeah. After I mentioned, Pratipadikam was, this is Ramavat now. I mean, it should be adjective really. I'm sorry. Either be Ramavat, Vanavat, Sitavat. So in this case, is an adjective qualifying some janaha. So you have to add soup pratyaha. And then after this one Pratipadikam is formed, you get Pratipadika sanya by Kruttadda samasascha. And then you, of course, you have to add, then add, soup pratyaha by the, 412. So just, yeah. That is, we finally have to decline that. That's nitya karyam. So you cannot use it without that by 4-1. Okay, now for next time, let us, time is up. So let me give you a couple of points for next time, which is the next one. Actually, I was thinking of this one for a long time today, as a matter of fact. The example is given is muner ayatta mama jivanam. So my life depends on the sage. Actually, the interesting thing, if you look at after dictionary, this is homework for all of us. I think I know the answer, but at least samadhanam. Just think about karakas, It's not like algebra. So you have to think, you have to make some adjustments. So it says, muner ayattam mama jivanam. My life depends on the sage. Now, if you look at after dictionary, it says a plus yat. So dhatu yat is first of all the prayatne, to strive. Yata ichitato bhuyaha, right? Comes in Gita. Yatate ichitato bhuyaha samsiddha kurunandana. In fact, she strives. In fact, interesting, let's look at Gita for 1 second. I just thought of the shloka in chapter 6 towards the end. I know time is up, but we're coming right here. Yatate ichitato bhuyaha. Yatate ichitato bhuyaha samsiddha. So samsiddhau yatate. So he strives in the matter of perfection. Means in English he strives for perfection. Yatate, that's a dhatu yat. Yatate chatato bhuyaha samsiddhau saptami. Now, but the ayat is to depend on. So, to depend on something. So this ayat. Now very quickly here also, we'll continue next time, is the dhatu yat has the ikara as an yati. Dhatu is yati in dhatu pashaha. So because that ikara is a state dhatu as a matter of fact. But we will see that this sutram is 7 to 14. Shvidito nishtayam, because the long E is an it, stops the idagama. We'll do it next time in detail. So you get form yatta. Instead of yatita, you get yatta. The idagama should have been there. Yat plus ta, you should have idagama. But shvidito nishtayam, that long E as an it, is stopping the idagama. Anyway, you got the form yatta. Question right now is not that one, of course. Right now the question is that how do you get the shashti with that? So, if you look at what Apte is given, he says that he gives an example also. He says to strive to rest or depend on with the locative, he says. With the locative, he gives examples also, he gives two examples. Vayam tvayi ayata mahe. Vayam tvayi ayata, we depend on you. Vayam tvayi ayata mahe. So now he's given saptami here now. Okay? Now how are we getting shashti over here? Munera yatta mama jivanam. So my life depends on the sage. I'm in his care, so to speak. I think this is also Sheshe Shashti. But take this for homework. If you find a better reason for this, because this is, remember one thing, be careful, that 2365 was only for Kartru and Karma. This is not like that now. Depending on him. Like Adhikaranam. So we don't go to 2365 and all that thing. That's only for Kartru, Karma, no Kriti. Okay, so this is, I don't think it qualifies for that. So this is probably going to be Sheshe on the same thing, 2350 Sheshe. But take it for homework. This one you can, okay, for next time, very quickly, is that the Abhijnaha also is formed by the similar logic as Priyaha. Abhijnaha is the same thing. You look at the Ashtadhyay. This one is, the, I think, next Sutram, Athashupasarge. So 31136. So the same logic as Priyaha. You use instead of the prior Sutram form Priyaha, Abhijnaha use 31136. Get the same logic, same steps, and you get the same Sutram, which is Katu Karmano Kriti. So 130. And then Tulyaha, we'll see next time, is 2372, Tulyaha. Okay. Now this one, this entire thing is 2330. You also have to make some adjustments. We see it next time because the word Agre is not there. The word Samaksham is not there in there exactly. But we have to adjust because Purastat means Agre Samaksham. In fact, if you look at the the Avyaya Koshaha, he says also that is, I think in one of these places he says it is the, not this one, sorry, not this one Kale says that. Agre is the same meaning as Purastat, so we use that. We'll make some adjustment next time. So Agre and Samaksham was not really in this Sutram, but you have to adjust for that. Krute also we have to adjust, but it's not there. We have to use the sense of Hetu Shabdaha. So look at 2330 for next time. Look at 2334 for next time. Also maybe 3536. And lastly, look at so 2330, 34, 35, 36, and 2338 and 2364 up here. 2364, 38. So one more time, we start with 2330 mainly next time, 2330. We'll also look at 34, 35, 36, and then next thing we'll do is look at 64. It's just point number 1 here, and 38 for the bottom. This one probably is going to be She also in between. Yeah. Okay, let's stop with that. Yeah, Purastat comes in Gita. Namas Purastat, yes, correct. Thank you, Venkatji. So we stop with that. Ramo Rajamanistada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Viyata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Rama Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramascha Dasosmyaham Rame Chittale Sada Bhautame Vorama Mamudhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasanama Tatsulyam Rama Nama Varadane Shri Rama Nama Varadana Om Namasti.